All right, we're going to talk about what might just be the 5 most important years of your entire life, the ages between 15 and 20. And no, this isn't about getting good grades or landing your first job. This is about something way deeper. It's about the final, critical software update happening in your brain, an update that literally sets the stage for how you'll think, feel, and live for the next 50 years.
So that brings us to a pretty provocative question. During this final upgrade, is it possible your own brain is actually working against you? That sounds a little weird, right? But the neuroscience actually points to a kind of biological civil war going on inside your head.
First up, let's get into this idea of the teen brain paradox. We need to break down why this period of your life is such a strange mix of incredible potential and really unique vulnerability. So to really get this, picture your brain like a startup company. You've got your reward and emotion center, the limbic system, and it's like a hyper-caffeinated sales team, going 100 miles an hour, chasing those immediate wins. But then you have the CEO, your prefrontal cortex, the part that's supposed to handle long-term strategy and stop you from making bad decisions. Well, the CEO is basically still an intern. It won't be fully up to speed until your mid-20s. And this mismatch, this huge imbalance, makes it incredibly hard to think about long-term consequences.
Let's look at the key players here. You've got that prefrontal cortex, still a work in progress, while the limbic system is just firing on all cylinders. At the exact same time, your brain is doing 2 other huge things. It's adding insulation, called myelin, to its wiring to make signals travel faster. And it's pruning away weaker connections to make the whole system more efficient. It is a total system overhaul, and it's all happening in real time. All of this rewiring leads to something called delay discounting. Because that CEO is still in training, your brain is biologically hardwired to see an immediate pleasure, that bag of chips that social media like, as way more valuable than some abstract risk of a disease 40 years from now. Now, this is so important. This is not a character flaw. It's not about being lazy. It's literally a feature of a brain that is still under construction.
Okay, Section 2, Modern Traps. Because here's the problem. The modern world knows all about this vulnerability. And, well, it's become an expert at hijacking your biology for its own gain.
And the scale of this problem is just staggering. A massive review, looking at data from almost 10 million people, found that eating a lot of ultra-processed foods, we're talking chips, sugary drinks, packaged snacks, you know the stuff, is linked to 32 different bad health outcomes. Not 1 or 2, 32, everything from heart disease and obesity to type 2 diabetes.
So why are these foods so powerful? Because they're not really just food. They're scientifically engineered products designed to be addictive. And this research puts it bluntly. Eating these things over time can actually change your brain's reward centers in a way that is chillingly similar to what's seen with addictive drugs. It creates this powerful, hard-to-break cycle of craving and overconsumption.
And these traps aren't just in our food. Take vaping. It's not just harmless water vapor, right? It's a chemical cocktail. When the liquid gets heated, it can create cancer-causing chemicals like formaldehyde. And the metal coils themselves, they can leach toxic heavy metals. We're talking lead, nickel, chromium, straight into your lungs. And lead, let me be clear, is a potent neurotoxin. There is no safe level of exposure, none.
Then there's cannabis. It's often seen as natural or safe, but using it during this critical brain-building window can cause permanent changes to the brain's actual structure. This isn't temporary. We're talking about lasting memory problems and a significantly higher risk of developing very serious mental health conditions like psychosis.
So this all leads us to a really sobering place. What do these traps actually lead to? Let's get real for a minute and take a 40-year look ahead at the future that's being built by the choices we're making today.
Let's talk about Alzheimer's. It doesn't just show up one day. It starts small. Subtle memory problems, maybe having trouble with complex tasks, but it gets worse. In the moderate stage, you can forget your own life story, your own family. And by the severe stage, the brain loses its ability to control the body, to walk, to talk, and eventually even to swallow. It's a slow, tragic erasure of who you are.
And it's not just Alzheimer's. Late-stage type 2 diabetes can mean nerve damage, blindness, even amputations. Advanced cancer brings chronic pain and an unbelievable psychological burden. These aren't just abstract risks on a chart. They are the direct, real-world outcomes of choices that were made decades earlier.
Okay, I know that was a lot, and it's pretty grim. But here's the most important part of this whole conversation. This does not have to be your story. It doesn't. So now, let's talk about your health defense blueprint, how you can build a biological safety net starting right now.
Your future is not set in stone. That's the key takeaway here. The very same brain plasticity, that brain wiring that makes you vulnerable right now, that is also your superpower. It's what allows you to build resilience.
And the tools we have at our disposal are unbelievably powerful. Just take the MIND diet, for example. Major studies show that people who stick to it closely can cut their risk of developing Alzheimer's by a staggering 53%. Just think about that. That is a massive, life-altering number. You have so much more control than you think.
So, what even is the MIND diet? It's not some crazy, complicated thing. It's actually surprisingly simple. The main idea is to load up on 10 brain-healthy food groups, things like leafy greens, all kinds of berries, nuts, and fish, while seriously limiting 5 unhealthy groups, like red meat, sweets, and fried food. It's a clear, simple roadmap. And it's not just about what you eat. Exercise is literally medicine for your brain. Specifically, resistance training, and this can be just twice a week, has been proven to preserve brain volume in critical areas like the hippocampus, which is absolutely essential for your memory.
The long-term data on this is just undeniable. There's a famous study called the Cardio Study that followed thousands of people for over 35 years, and what they found is crystal clear. Having a healthy heart in your youth directly predicts having a healthier brain in midlife. Good cardiovascular health in your 20s means better memory and faster thinking in your 40s and beyond. The connection is direct.
So how do we actually put all this into practice? What do we do? Our final section here lays out a simple, practical, 3-step action plan that you can literally start today.
Here it is. It's this simple. Number 1, do a metabolic audit. It's easier than it sounds. Just find one ultra-processed food you eat pretty much every day and swap it for something real. Number 2, adopt the twice-weekly rule. That's it. 2 sessions of resistance training a week. You don't even need a gym. Bodyweight exercises totally count. And number 3, actively project your brain. This means making a conscious, hard decision to reject all vaping products, period.
And look, eating healthy does not have to be expensive. This isn't about going out and buying a bunch of exotic, pricey superfoods. Simple, budget-friendly swaps can make a huge difference. Instead of that sugary cereal, try some rolled oats. Instead of deli meats, try canned beans. These small, cheap changes add up to massive health benefits without breaking the bank. Let's end with a really powerful idea from the research. The choices you make between 15 and 20, they're not just temporary, youthful whims that don't matter later. They're the actions of an architect, and you are literally building the foundation of your own future biology. So, we'll leave you with this question. Right now, your brain is building its final, adult version. The raw materials it has to work with are the foods you eat, the habits you form, and the things you choose to avoid. So the question is, what will you choose to build it with?